let's take a look at this parallel web fetching example. And in my opinion, it's one of the best examples to see threads in action and to actually understand why are we using threads in the first place. Of course, there are many use cases for threads, but one of the most common ones is when we want to speed up certain parts of our program or of our application. And in Python, we have Jill, which blocks two threads from being executed in parallel exactly at the same time, even if our hardware allows for it, even if we have like multi-core CPU. But still, for cases where we are not CPU bound, but we are IO bound, like with web requests, we will see a speed up, a real speed up if we use multiple threads instead of just using a single thread. So for example, I want to send many requests, and that's part of the job or the task that my application is doing. And instead of sending them one by one in a single thread, waiting for the whole request to complete and then starting another one, I can use, for example, a thread pool executor and use multiple threads to send them simultaneously. And in this case, we should see a speed up. So if I send requests one by one, let's say I have 5 requests and each of them takes on average 2 seconds to complete. Then if I use this sequence approach and sending them one by one, then it would take at least 10 seconds for the whole task to complete. But if I can use many threads and start to send them simultaneously, then it should take much less time. It probably won't be like if I use 5 threads and each request takes on average 2 seconds. Probably it won't be just 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds, maybe 4, but still much less than those 10 seconds when we use it in sequence. So that's the idea. And why exactly does it work? Because most of the time for web requests, we are not spending on the CPU. So most of the job is done by the OS under the hood and the network stack. And this is one of the examples of IO bound task. So it's not a CPU bound, so we should still see improvement, even if I have a single core, by the way, and because of the reasons that I just mentioned. So we are going to use thread pool executor and as completed from concurrent features, and we are also using a perf counter to actually count the time, how long it took us to actually send those requests. And of course, to send the request to do those HTTP communication, we will use request library and the standard library from Python. And here are our URLs. So we will use this website, which allows us to simulate a delay. We can use HTTP bingo, and each of our 4 requests should take approximately 2 seconds. So now let's create a helper function to fetch or to, we can call it fetch URL. For that, we will need URL that we want to fetch. And we are going to return requests response. And now we want to call get method. So we are sending get requests. So from requests, we call get. For the URL, we can also set some timeout, like 5 seconds. So our program doesn't hang indefinitely. I think there are even some default timeouts, but that can be checked, but still it's a good habit to set them by ourselves. And we can now get the result from here. And we can return, by the way, we don't need to return a response, we can just return a string. Or maybe a dict. We can return the JSON. So let's return a dict and return result dot JSON, or we can even call it response to be more accurate. And this we can put in try except block, since this part actually, since request get can throw an exception. Try accept, and the exception will be from requests and response exception. And we can return an F string and error, and here put E. Yeah, we can even explicitly convert it to string, but I think it would either way be converted to string through the curly braces. Okay, yeah, so that's our function. Now we can try it. We can print what this will return for one of our URLs. And we just take the first one, even though right now they're repeated, but maybe we'll try also with different delays later. Okay, so let's see if it works. Let's run it. And we got this response after 2 seconds. Yeah, so there is some JSON. We see the encoding accepted, some headers. It's both headers in the body, URL, which is used, no data, no files. And the JSON itself is none, and some headers, and the method was get. Okay, so this is not important right now, just what we got from the response. And now we can try to use to call it n times for a list of URLs, and either do it in sequence or try to use thread pool executor to use threads to start them simultaneously. Okay, so now we will create fetch URLs sequence, and we just accept a list of URLs. Let's do it lowercase so I don't have to import from typing, and list of strings. To what we will return, we can return some dictionary as well. I will not specify exactly what's there, but let's leave it like this. Yeah. So it could be like more accurate, this type hint, but I think that's enough for our purposes. And to call it in sequence, we can just create a dictionary comprehension and create a key value mapping, where key will be a URL from this list, and the value will be response or the result of the function fetch URL. For each URL in this list, URLs which we are getting here as parameter. So that's fetching in sequence, and now using threads, we have to create. Now we'll create a resolve initially, dictionary, and now we can use a context manager, and here create a thread pool executor with max workers set to 4. And so we'll set as many max workers as we have elements of this list. We could also use len of URLs, of course, but maybe we will see another example later when we decrease it or increase it. So I just leave it like this for the purpose of demonstration, and we have to give it some name. We should, if we want to access it inside, as thread pool, executor, or just executor. Right, and now we can submit to executor what we want to do, and it only needs the name of the function that we want to call, fetch URL, and if it doesn't have any arguments, then we can leave it like this, but since we have an argument, then we put the URL here, and I think we'll create again simply a list, not a list, a dictionary comprehension for URL in URLs. And again, the key will be URL, and the value will be whatever the executor submit returns, and it returns an object called future, which suggests by its name that the result is not returned immediately, and this allows for this concurrent execution. Okay, so we have URL to future, like this. Here URL, and now we can wait till they are complete using as completed. And so for future in items, that's a dictionary, everything called by items, we can get as complete future, and that will be the response. And now I can store in the result under key URL and just the response here. I could also prepare this. I think this makes more sense. And then we just return the result. That's it. So now let's create a main function. Let's see if both of them work. And then we will add timing here. So we want to see how much time exactly we spent in each of those. If name equals main, then we call the main function. Okay, let's see if it works so far. There are no errors. Okay, I see no errors. Of course, it takes some time to execute, but as complete is named as completed. Sorry, it's called as complete. Yeah. So now we can add new function fetch timer, which will accept fetcher. And I think that's it. And we just start timing using perf counter. We call a fetcher with URLs. Then we have time in seconds. and can also accept here name string and say print. We spent time s for name, and now we can call it 2 times instead of those functions and simply pass the function here as an argument, fetch with sequence and fetch using threads. Sequence. Okay, let's start. Yeah, so we call or we send the request 4 times for each of the URLs separately, one by one. And the delay should be around 2 seconds, and in total it's 9.6. So almost 10 seconds, it makes sense. And when we use threads, then we using this thread pool executor, then we spent in total 2.4 seconds. And so even though in this Python version that I'm using, it's still can check here what exactly version it is. It still has Jill. So within single Python interpreter, only one thread executes Python code at time. Yeah, and we cannot have true parallel execution, at least till now, but still we for operations which are IO bound, we can get big speed up if we use threads. Yeah, so threads are not useless in Python. Yeah, as they are not useless anywhere, they will only need to have a proper use case for them, as here with fetching in parallel. And what will happen if, for example, I use 2 workers? So let's go it again. And let's see. And now the time is around half of this, what is expected.